Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building. Yo. Might as well call today YK's day because your banter is in itself. It's strong enough.
It's show.
I'm not bantering about Theo. Are we bantering about Theo? No, we're not bantering about Theo. I'm bantering about Lagos Ikeja local government.
Yeah?
They gave me a bill yesterday for parking, TV license, radio license of 900,000.
Jesus Christ. How?
900.
Well, you've been closed for the entire
We've been closed since March. We closed before everybody. Because at the time we closed, we realized that this thing is getting serious, so let us just close. We closed till the governor opened us in August 14 to be precise. And you now bring a bill in September for March to August, for the year 2020, 900,000.
Oh, that's so much.
Now we pay every year 500,000.
So how did it become?
So how did it exactly?
How did it become when we have not worked?
Yes.
That is number one. Then they gave us a 7-day demand notice.
Imagine that.
But they will come and close us down if we don't pay. Where do you want us to find 900,000? That is one. Two, since we opened last month, upon the 500,000 that we have been paying, last month, every day they come and arrest cars parked outside Shrine. 40,000 they collect from those people.
And yet they're collecting
So
money.
we asked the guy that we have been paying this 500,000 a year to pay, Oga, how is this happening now? Where is our license? Why? You should go and fight for us.
Yes.
We are paying.
License should cover
Parking permits. His answer to that was to bring a bill of 900,000.
Like, honestly, how are you managing this thing? I don't even understand.
Take up this now.
You need to take it up. You need to send a
You
letter.
see, that's the old one that happened here that I posted. I'm going to post that bill
So that
on
one was
Instagram.
Mikey, but I think, Mikey, I think we need to
get
get the person in charge. We need to find a way to get
The chairman of the Ikeja local government.
Yes, we need to talk to him. We need to get his number and talk to him about it. I think you should take it to him directly first. Don't post it yet. Let us go and let's go to him the civil way. Send him that letter and have a conversation with him. If then he does that he doesn't want to agree, that's where we can take it up. But for now, let's start with him because it's totally wrong, especially because the clubs they're all closed during COVID. And I know the governor said something about the waiver.
You see, this is how
the governor mentioned something about the waiver given to many of these.
Because I don't even want to talk about the tax one. They brought payee. When you haven't paid salary, where are you going to get payee?
They
say I didn't write them letter. I say, which letter?
Weren't you aware of the situation?
I mean, they didn't lock you too.
We're all locked down. Okay, sorry, just take it easy.
They make it so difficult for people.
How are you doing, VC?
I'm doing amazing. I started this new documentary, The Story of God by Morgan Freeman. And it's really amazing. It's a tour on different religions, how they see God, and I just realized that all the gods had one thing in common. They're all religions, yes, and they were different gods, and he traveled from country to country, find out their traditions, how they see the devil, how they see God, how they see spirits, and all. It was quite enlightening for me, and I think a lot of people should look into. Okay, the fact that there's an almighty God and who likely sends, who is more into love. He loves unconditionally and he sends his son or his daughter to come and represent him. So
interesting.
It's quite interesting.
How are you doing, Mariam?
I don't know, YK, I don't know, but I want to ask you guys, when your papa took you shopping last time, what did he get you? The last time your papa took you shopping, what did he get you?
Me, I can tell you.
What did your papa get you the last time he took you shopping?
Don't let anybody undermine me, please. My own father.
Yeah.
Me, I did not enjoy it too. But my brothers enjoyed that same.
We are asking you. When he took you shopping, what did he get you?
My father took my brothers shopping and bought them Ferrari. No, not Ferrari. Supra. They fairly used Supra back in the 80s. All of them, one like this. Me, I didn't enjoy it because by the time I came, the money I started doing.
My own father did not even have car when he died.
But congratulations, right?
Yeah, congrats.
Ferrari? I don't know what we're crapping though.
That's it, our car. Well, do I just tapping the anointing now?
Let me tell you how well.
I don't know why you are clapping. I didn't clap. Let me just.
Okay.
We are tapping the anointing, YK. That's what they call
Copy
tapping.
and her sisters got 3 Ferraris. Their papa took them shopping and asked them to pick one.
Hey.
Copy picked the pink one. So me too, in tapping of the anointing, I wore my pink cap.
Ooh,
So that
nice.
maybe my papa, who has already passed on, can just dial from heaven. I'm like, you know, maybe you need
Interestingly,
something.
YK, Copy now posted this morning and said that, good morning, cupcakes. Did you sleep well? People started replying like, Auntie, we can't sleep. We are still thinking of your Ferrari since yesterday. I was like, wow. So how can we sleep, madam? Your father just dropped a bombshell and you want us to sleep. You slept. We
No,
will
I'm
not.
happy
it's good
for
to
her.
have
I
money.
won't think without being aware of
We're
this.
all
what
in
was
the
happening.
spirit.
Well,
God
again,
is about to
anyways,
send some
it's good to have
Ferraris
money.
out.
for those of you beefing, please go and tell your father to buy you car.
Yeah.
And leave them
It's
alone.
good to
I
have
beg.
money.
Please, please.
I beg, don't make people feel
That's their business.
Less than they are.
I don't
because-
understand.
No,
If
he's
your
living his
father
life.
has
The money,
let
he
him
will
buy it.
buy
If I have the
what
money,
he
I'm buying
can
for my
buy.
children.
If he has the money.
So why are you feeling less? I didn't even know anything was happening.
No, they're saying, Mariah said, those of you who your father can't buy you Ferrari.
He can
Yes,
buy, please,
including me. All of us.
Your father
please,
is
there are-
joking. Please,
have-
leave him, please.
your papa can buy you nice
pink
Zara cap from Miriam Loge.
Let's not beef. Anyway, let's go on a break. Let's go on a break. Let's go on a break.
Colors.
Either way, the fact that you're alive is enough to say thank you for daddy.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Thank your father for that. He
He
brought
sent
you
you
to
to
life.
school.
He sent you to school. Please don't be
Thank
looking
you.
at
That's
somebody's
what you say.
don't be looking at somebody's Ferrari. Let's go on a break.
I'm thankful to my father for my life.
Yes,
For
thank
his
God.
name.
For his name,
yes.
for his integrity.
Yes.
He's not chop government money.
Hey, thank you very
Yes.
much. Me too. I can confidently say that my father don't chop government money, and I thank God for the name that you're also helping me today. So a good name actually sometimes can be better than riches.
It's always better.
Let's go on a break. But I'd like some money, child. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
our father never even did government.
My father has long gone. This is before he...
Hope I knows me. All right, welcome back. We're going to start with the nation.
Ferrari
The nation. Petrol, electricity prices, labor issues ultimatum.
What's the nation now?
PACAC alleges plots to scrap EFCC. Will forge a more united Nigeria at 60. 30 sectors showed negative growth in half year. NNPC begins refineries rehabilitation. And terrorists creates camp in Oyo North, says Adams. Okay, which story are we taking?
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
Go ahead with the NMPC.
So NNPC is saying that, well, we very soon are going to see work is going to start being done on the 4 refineries that we have. Of course, we know our sad story, which is we're the only crude producing, excavating country and heavily reliant on petroleum products that do not have our local refineries, do not have local refineries working. So the group managing director of NNPC, Mr. Mele Kyari, is saying that these refineries, a lot of money is going to be put into them. And usually over the years, they put some money into them.
Yeah,
into
I was going to give you the figure there.
Yes.
So he said that in the past, since 2013 and 2015, $396 million have been spent and nothing was done.
Yes.
So the 4 major refineries, the one in Kaduna, Port Harcourt, Warri, and also I think Eleme, will begin to have the 444,000 barrels per day. And he's saying that they're getting support from various places like the Afro-Exim Bank and other places to build this refineries that they're hoping that, is it 2023? Or from Q1 next year, they can begin to see, according to him, there was no maintenance done at all, especially also with the pipeline vandalism that happened, obstructed the fuel coming into this refinery, and that was part of the issues they had with the maintenance. So they're saying that going forward, they're going to ensure that they fix it, and then proper maintenance will be put in place.
Where did the money go? The money that they collected?
Which money did they collect?
You said 300 and Kene Kota.
Going for the maintenance, which we have nothing to show
Nothing
for
was
it.
done.
Anyway, they're saying that, of course, this will bring better, lower prices for us, and so.
Okay, let's move on to...
quickly.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Yes, so Gani Adams of Yoruba land has raised alarm for the second time in 4 weeks that armed terrorists had occupied Kishi, that's the vast old Oyo National Park, and they have set up camp there. So, but the special assistant in media has said that he has nothing to worry about, but because kidnapping had already started happening in that community. About 11 people have been kidnapped. It's caused them to start having security meetings to see how they can. So he's raising an alarm that something has to be done. They have actually taken over that camp.
And I think that it says 100 people.
Whoa.
It says 100 people.
Whoa, have been kidnapped already.
Have been kidnapped.
Wow.
So they need to defend.
Okay, let's move on to the punch now.
I guess I'm TUC
tackles Ngige. NLC issues 2 weeks ultimatum to federal government. Police arrest 6 Ogun headsmen for abducting policewoman and NSCDC official. UNILAG visitation panel concludes probes and submits reports today. U.S. reviews visa ban as FG meets 90% requirement. CBN demands details of 12 top Nigerian businessmen, others domiciliary accounts. And Sage panel accuses Malami of aborting high-profile cases. Which story are we taking?
The major story?
Yeah.
So the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, had it with the Trade Union Congress yesterday, saying that according to the report, he dismissed the ultimatum that was given to the federal government, saying that they shouldn't have spoken directly or written anything to the federal government or to the president. They should have come through him. But TUC is saying that the electricity tariff increase and the fuel increase is beyond the minister. It's something that the government has to look into. Right. On the other hand, NLC has also given another 7 days, 2 weeks ultimatum that if nothing is done, they will likely be going on protest on the 28th of September. So
TUC has also mobilized about 79 civil society groups to support their protest. Moving on very quickly, you wanted to add something, Waike?
No, I was just going to, go on. The one about the
Nigerian Tribune. Labour gives 14-day ultimatum. We talked about that. Let's find a story of not taken. 5 injured, many vehicles destroyed as supporters of Akeredolu Jegede clash. Buhari promises more inclusiveness and unveils Nigeria's logo at 60. Edo holds prayer for peaceful poll. Obaseki says no need for violence. Court orders resident doctors to resume work, and NNPC steps up rehabilitation of refineries. Okay.
So our 60 years.
Yeah, so we're going to be 60 in a couple of weeks.
We're going to be 60 quite soon. So our Diamond Jubilee, we're supposed to be celebrating, but because of the COVID, of course, it would not be as elaborate as we would have wanted it to. That's our president speaking. And they're unveiling a logo to depict our togetherness. So this logo, they were picked based on what Nigerians wanted. So they had put it out and Nigerians to come up with different creative ways. And so they picked 4 options and one will be unveiled to us. And really, he's also saying today we're still the most prosperous black nation, even despite what it is that we're going through, and just pushing really for being together and be unified.
Did you say in there did they write it in there that they are going to have 365 days of celebration?
Celebration, lucky.
Yes. September to September, and Together Shall We Be is the theme.
Yes.
Together Shall We Be. I like that. Together Shall We Be.
That we should look, we should look into the fact that our founding fathers, irrespective of their religion, their tribes, their ethnic groups, came together and worked together. But we should be asking ourselves: is the togetherness, are we really together?
We are together.
But do we need a 365-day celebration?
It could be low-key, it could be webinars, it could be just, there could be different things. Not as if we're going to street and start celebrating.
Let's know the budget.
Moving on to Vanguard, right here.
The budget can be moved to help. You just put it
Vanguard,
I can use it to help me pay tax.
Fuel, electricity, NLC draws battle line with federal government. Picture here of Walter Smith Modular Refinery. We've been asking for modular refineries. Thank God that more private sector people are coming into that sector. FG will ensure Nigeria's traders in Ghana gets justices of Shimbaju. Blasphemy. It's wrong to sentence 13-year-old to 10 years jail term. UNICEF tells Kano government. That's a story I think we need to talk about. And let's find a story. U.S. reviews ban on migrant visas as Nigeria meets 90% requirement. Nigeria divided before Buhari says presidency. And FG projects Nigeria's economy to recover in Q1 2021. Okay.
The visa ban?
Go ahead, please.
Yes, so it's been, the United States are saying that they're going to look into the review of, find a way to lift the ban since we've met 90% of the criteria that we're supposed to meet for the ban to be lifted. And so there's this forum that they have, Nigeria-US forum. They're saying this will be a platform where they're going to be working hand in hand to see how they can help the countries together. And I think the presidency was saying that even in these hard times, they were able to ensure that they met up to 90%. So in no time, they will fulfill all the obligations and the ban will be lifted for the
Okay, we have to wrap up, but it's important for this issue of blasphemy. It's a very sensitive topic. A 10-year-old has been sentenced to 13-year-old has been sentenced to 10 years jail term. And UNICEF obviously has said that this is totally wrong. It's happened in Southern Kaduna. It's a sensitive topic.
Kano.
Is it Kano? Oh, it's Kano. Sorry, I do apologize. Kano State, you're right. But It's the law, it's a Sharia state, it's the law, and it's difficult to discuss it because I don't think we are authorized to talk about these kind of things, but we need understanding. So maybe we can need to get somebody to explain to us.
You see, let's not excuse, the boy is underage. That's number one.
Yes.
He's a minor.
He's a minor.
According to the child's right, not according to Sharia.
Yes.
Oh.
There are two different laws.
We
See,
need to
that's the issue.
laws.
There are laws.
Child rights has nothing to do with Sharia. Listen, he's 10.
13.
At that age, you are still 13. Sorry, you are still learning. You are still impacting knowledge onto these children, or imparting knowledge onto these children. You cannot tell me that you are going to jail him, because when he goes in at 13, when he comes out at 23,
he becomes hardened.
He will be hardened. He will become a criminal. He will become. Come on, is it not about reform?
Yeah.
Is jail Sharia or not about reform?
Okay,
we need an understanding of their laws.
It's a conversation we need to have with somebody else. I don't think we can talk about it here, but it's painful. I know. I mean, there's no mother that will hear this and think it's okay. So we'll look into it and see what we can do to have a better understanding of what this is about. Let's go on a break. It's Thursday. We're going to start first with a drama that happened to our own very own Uncle Theo. Hey, in this Lagos. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So yesterday, a very disturbing video went viral. And it so happened that it was Uncle Theo that recorded this video. If you don't know Uncle Theo is YK's partner. So it's like we are the ones that even recorded the video. It's practically the ladies of it. This is our video. This is our story. In the video, Uncle Theo recorded a group of men who say that they are men of the Lagos State Vehicle Waste Basket Agency. Forcefully selling waste bin to riders who already have waste bins in their van. You have to watch this clip to understand what we are saying. Please, watch it.
Just tell me exactly what your offense is. Let me just record this. So tell me what our offense is.
You're carrying authorized waste basket, sir.
Authorized waste basket?
Yes.
We're carrying this type of waste basket, right?
Yes.
Instead of this one.
Give me that, give me that. Yeah. You are carrying Ekiti State.
Huh?
You are carrying Ekiti waste bin inside Lagos State vehicle.
Inside Lagos State
this
vehicle.
Is what you're supposed to carry.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, and this is Ekiti waste basket.
Inside Lagos State vehicle.
Okay.
Eh?
Yes.
Which is wrong.
Okay.
This is what you are supposed to carry in your
So,
vehicle.
the
fact you are living in Lagos State, you're working in Lagos State, your vehicle is Lagos State, this is what you're supposed to carry, not Ekiti State.
Okay. So if I go and buy my own waste basket in the market?
You shouldn't, because your vehicle number is registered in Lagos State. You are giving vehicle number in Lagos State, which is being registered on the system. So definitely you are supposed to carry Lagos State vehicle waste basket together in your
We have registered in Lagos State.
That's why you're carrying this.
How much is this authorized basket? How much is it? Eh? How much is authorized basket? I should go and meet him. You are the one stopping us. I should go and meet him. That's insolent. I'm asking you, I should go and meet him inside there.
Everybody has his own post.
No, because a different person has a different person has a number. A different person catches the person. Please come. I can't go there. Come out. You cut us.
His own office. You have to meet him.
Eh?
3-5, sir. With the 3-5.
Eh?
With the clearance, 3-5.
With the clearance, 3-5.
Which clearance? What's the clearance?
Eh? Okay, no problem.
No problem.
No problem, bring it.
Hey! I see, I don't understand. In fact, my jaw dropped.
This is Ekiti basket. This is Lagos
And Uncle
basket.
Theo actually paid the 3-5 YK.
Yes, now didn't you see them pay? With the clearance, it's 3-5.
So they arrested them.
They arrested them. They didn't allow them to go. They went to Badagry. And They said they are carrying a kitty basket
inside Lagos registered vehicle.
In fact, no worry. In my 40 years,
so first
I've
of
never
all,
heard of this in my life.
Do we have an agency?
Okay,
first of all, let's even know.
We have the Commissioner for Information. We'll ask him that question.
Okay.
So joining us on the show now is the Commissioner for Information, Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Motosho. Good morning, Mr. Motosho. Are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, you have a Lagos State Waste Basket Agency Commission or something, whatever it is called, to be arresting people for carrying different states' baskets in their own car.
Well, thank you very much for getting in touch with the Lagos State government. I have seen the video too. It's been all over the place. I'm saying categorically that we don't have any agency like that in Lagos State. Lagos State agencies officials are better behaved, they are better educated, they are better dressed, they are better behaved. We don't have any agency like that.
Sir, so with this viral video now, what is your agency going to do? Are you going to launch a manhunt for these people? Because they are actually impersonating, and it's a criminal offense, as far as I'm concerned.
In fact, I didn't want to come on this program because we had already started that process of arresting the people who are behind it, those who sent them and those who are actively participating in it. But because I just had to come on this program, that is why I just, for the referral I have for you and the referral I have for Lagosians, but that process is on. Gone are the days when people say the lazy and the indolent, that they can come to Lagos from any part of the world. No, in the administration of Mr. Baide Sanwo-Olu, the governor, we don't tolerate that, and we are not going to tolerate that. And I assure you, these people are going to be seized.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How is it possible for a group of people to put this up and get away with
branded
it?
Vehicle.
I mean, no one else knew about it. I mean, usually you would have different kinds of security operatives also operating around there, and no one could call them out until this one person was able to get a video. How is it possible?
First, let me tell you, it's all boils down to what we have been saying. Security, environment, everything is the responsibility of all of us. If these guys were out here today to deceive Lagosians and people were paying, nobody could challenge them, arrest them, and make a scene out of it. I'm just a bit disappointed. If no security agency knew about this, if somebody had alerted them early enough, I'm sure they will be there to this guy.
Thank you.
No, I just want to, because they had the Lagos State dustbin.
And the stickers,
or the sticker
branded
of
vehicles.
Lagos State on it. You know, I mean, they must have been doing this for a long time.
Branded permits.
This is, it's just, okay, Commissioner, it's just worrisome for us as citizens to know that people can actually operate within a government. You know, that's the worrisome part. But now that you said that your government is on top of this, hopefully this won't happen again. But it's quite worrisome, I must say.
Because there's another one, but Isheri Road, they're always stopping and asking you for dustbin. They claim they are from the local government too.
No, what?
You see, this is the kind of thing I call Bajue, not even 419. This is Bajue. And if there is nobody to, you know, present his face to be slapped, nobody is going to be able to slap you. If all of us decide to stand up for our right, nobody is going to be able to trample on our right. If people can challenge such people and make a noise about it, I tell you, sooner or later they will disappear from our street. Let us keep on challenging them.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner for Information, for joining us this morning. We appreciate your comments so far. We've been speaking with the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Motosho. Very, very, very sad video. I mean, very, it's sad because I know, what's sad for me is that I know that the Lagos State government is making so much effort, but at the same time, you're now trying to undermine what the government is trying to do. That's where it's worrying for me.
Mind, though, and this is just an eye-opener that we should start taking responsibility.
Advice to us now is, when we meet this kind of people, we should challenge
them, make it scene.
Challenge it.
Do a video if you need to.
Okay, let's go on a break. We just had to break in transmission because we have another topic that we want to talk about. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. your view.
Thanks for staying with us. So this topic that we're about to talk about is something very, very interesting, I would say, because we all wish to be wealthy at some point. For some, it's a dream that someday will turn yourself into a self-made billionaire or millionaire. Some even amass wealth in order to have inheritance for their children, which most of these children nowadays are not even interested in at all, because many of them have traveled abroad, they live with their families over there, they're not interested in what you're amassing here in Nigeria. So the question is, to what end should one amass wealth? Is it for your children or for humanitarian purposes? Join the conversation. You can call us on 070-806-6801. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTV so we can read your tweet. This topic was interesting because someone shared a story about a man who was very, very successful. I think he dealt in, was it generators or tractors? You know, and he's built his business over time. His children have gone abroad, they are married, they have kids, married to foreigners, they live in America, Canada, all over the world. And he's in Nigeria, he's a businessman, and he's doing well. He built a beautiful house, a beautiful factory, and he's employed people. The man passes on. And the children came home for the burial, and after the next day, they were gone. They were not even interested in anything the father had put together. And it was a bit disturbing for friends and family that this man has employed thousands of people. Many families are dependent on this business. You are walking away. Are we going to close down the business? It's like they just amassed wealth for what? To what end? Sometimes they build houses, and if you go to places like Ekiti, Ogun State, or Ife, you see places, people have built mansions, locked up, nobody's there. Children are probably abroad, or in Lagos, or in Port Harcourt, or in Abuja, not interested in the house in the village. And then the man dies, and the house just gets locked up, and it's just there. So it's worrisome. So the question is, we are getting all this money, all these businesses, all these houses, to what end?
You see, the point is, if you're successful, genuinely successful, you are going to have successful children who are successful in their own rights.
Right.
So they're not really interested in your property or amassing your wealth, you know, which in my own view is a good thing. Because if my children, I would use my own family as a good example. Right. My grandmother, she was an extremely wealthy woman. She was a trader. And when she died, she had all this property. But her sons, she had 3 sons and 1 daughter, never looked at her property. My auntie, she was the one that used to go and try and manage the property. There was so much, like in Ifo, she had 18 hectares somewhere. She has plenty land all over Ifo. In Abekuta, the sons never really paid attention because they were all pursuing their own
goals and dreams.
Yeah.
Careers and dreams. Yeah. And it is now we, the grandchildren, who are trying to at least
consolidate,
maintain some of it.
Yeah.
But
you've all moved on.
We've moved on, and we run the risk of, even if we revive some of our things, our own kids are not even going to do that.
Exactly. So thank you very much, YK. So the question now is, to what end are we getting all this property? Because you don't need it, your children don't need it, and so they all belong to your grandmother, but maybe if she had handed it over to the government or for humanitarian purposes, maybe there will be no need. I don't know. We're just trying to understand how do we ensure that what we are working for is not, we're not working for in futility.
Okay, so the thing is to focus on what exactly you're working for at the time that you have life to work on it. Now, what I understand by amassing means for me to stock up, to save for the rainy day, to gather over a long period of time. And this is actually the dictionary meaning of amassing. And we all amass at our different levels. So as a worker now, you don't eat everything you earn. You save some for the rainy day. The other person doesn't eat everything. Now, depending on your level of wealth, depending on how the money is coming in, if you're on the level of 10 million every month, of course you will save something very reasonable. So it will seem like after a few years, you will see the amounts that you have, and it will seem like you have gathered so much, but you were gathering on your level. The person who is earning 100,000 will be saving like 10,000 or 20,000 20,000 over the years is also amassing. And for me, it's wisdom. Because even the scripture says it in Proverbs 13:22 that a good man layeth up riches for his children's children. It's a good thing. It's a blessing. Now, when you we are not in a space to keep. There are people they call eating with two hands. Because I don't want to keep property, every child will find their way and all of that, and you eat with two hands. And tomorrow an emergency happens. What is going to save you? I had a family friend who the uncle fell ill during COVID. At that time, the doctors were running away from the hospitals. They needed about 15 million naira to do surgery. Trust me, if that family did not have any small money they were keeping, that man would have died. And they would say it was God's time. No, okay. Let me even finish. So for me, as long as you are being blessed, you are a channel. So what happens after you are gone is none of your business. The children can decide we are successful on our own, like you said, and we don't want to look into it. They find a way to sell off. The children can still be cash-strapped tomorrow in the US or in the UK, and they sell the property to survive. Anything can happen. But it's important that as you are making money, as you are growing in your riches, that you save some. Anything can happen.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'll come to you, Mariam. I'm not sure saving is the problem. The question is, yes, you are saving, absolutely, for the rainy day. We all have to save for the rainy day. But the idea is, these children should take over from this empire I have built. And they've all moved on to Australia, marrying, they're all successful doctors and everything, and they're not interested. So after you've amassed so much extra, to what end is that, is that for? Yes,
yeah, I think what I understand this topic is talking about is wealth management. I think is really what we're speaking of. Yeah. And for many Nigerians, let's say the first generation wealth, and most of them are like second generation. The people who grew this wealth usually came from poverty. And for them to invest or save this wealth that they have created is to do the basic things. A poor man wants to have house, wants to have land, and and also I think wealth management techniques are quite still primitive, not quite sophisticated, So we buy land, we buy houses, and we just leave them because really they don't drink water, they don't expire. And whenever the children, land does not.
Land doesn't. But houses do.
Yeah, but you can sell the house, the land, and everything. So people will lock up their homes. Whenever one child has head, at least he will have that, land or house to go back. So that's where that thinking is coming from. So and also our major way of doing our business is we don't do it in like a legacy business. So we do like a lifestyle business. We take care of ourselves, and we do not really make plans. Traditionally, culturally too, we don't believe in wills, writing down wills, getting an executor of your estate. Yeah. So you have lots of property, and then you have kids. If one child wants to do something, that's when the other children say, oh, you think you want to, why are you touching it, because you haven't designated each child to something. So what has happened is that we have now left wealth for everybody, which is for nobody.
In addition to that, Mariam, also, because you said people build houses and they deliver it to their children, but what even bothers me is that they now get buried in those houses. And you can't resell those houses anymore because the owner of the house chooses to be buried in that house. So the house is not like a grave site. Okay. So nobody wants to buy that house. So it's just there.
Yeah, so I think some of the reasons why people do that is they want to make sure that the children make use of that property and do something because no one else would. It's like their insurance, and I think it's a traditional way of doing it. Some Oyinbo people would hear that they have given this particular inheritance to a child or a grandchild, but until you turn 30 and until you have done this and this and this. So Nigerian cultural way, this is the way I think our people have.
Let me take this call from, good morning, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Hello?
Hello, you're live. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting topic, though. For me, if I may, good morning, everybody. How do you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's quite sad. Anyway, it's really quite sad, and probably it's an African thing. It's a very pathetic African mentality, so to say. And more importantly, we have this kind of selfishness syndrome, in this part of the world. Okay, because like I rightly said, in foreign countries, well advanced countries, they amass wealth not solely because of them and their family alone, but because of charity purposes. Okay, and also when you amass wealth, probably just for self-sufficiency alone,
right.
and you have all the.
Hello. Yes, back in
okay, finish.
I was going to say, Marian said something about children having head. Yes, children having head is very important. Because I will give you an example. Because my father was such a legendary figure, someone that people looked up to, musically, politically, what we did was we buried him in his house. And the reason we took the decision to bury him in his house is so that nobody can wake up one day and sell the house. Then we now gave the house to Lagos State to make a museum. So nobody can wake up and say they want to sell the house. That house now belongs to Lagos State.
So it's an insurance policy.
So the plan.
Yeah.
So it was a plan. So I think if you have children who have head.
That's because it's fella. How many people will give their own father's house to Lagos State? Who wants to buy the house?
But we have she's making.
Okay. Yeah.
The point she's making is not about giving to Lagos State. It's to ensure that it is used for what they want it to be used for. That one day government may not sell it off to someone else, or somebody will not sell it off to. So that was just an insurance policy to make sure that.
Insurance policy, but for the average person who buries a private citizen in the house, who's going to buy that? How else would you use that place unless you want to use it as a museum?
No, it can also be a family.
If I choose to be buried in my house, if I choose to be buried in my house, it is because I want my children to have somewhere to lay their heads forever and ever. Their own children and their own children's children.
Okay,
and they can bury everybody there.
I'll come back to that point. I need to go on a break because that's one of the main objectives of this conversation. Because people need to start rethinking that statement you just said. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so before we went on break, Waike was talking about the fact that she doesn't mind being buried in a certain place because she wants somewhere her children can always know, like, this is our mother's property and this is where our mother used to be. But you see, that's one of the objectives of what I want to also have this conversation. Because I think people need to start rethinking how we share or keep or give out inheritance going forward. There was a time in our fathers, our grandfathers' period where, just like the Bible said, leave inheritance for your children's children. Great. My own mother, in fact, her family is one of the very, very few that her father died in 1976. Until tomorrow, Waike, she's collecting money from her family, from her father's property in Dosumu, because he got a company to manage his entire estate. Till now, she still collects money. Her and her siblings, every time. But that's just one of it. But the point I'm trying to make is that, can we stop leaving these things for our children going forward because of where we are? Our children are the measurement of success today is carrying your children abroad. Half of them go abroad. Many of them don't come back. Some come back and they go into other things. So if you are leaving these properties for these children that have gone abroad for education, they are likely not to manage it properly because they've seen a new world. They're not interested in your own world anymore. So can we move from the phase of I'm leaving property for my children to I have done my bit, I have blessed them, I've given them something to start out their own lives, and then the rest, I hand it over to charity. Can we begin to have that mentality? Because I know a few rich people that in their own lifetime, they're giving out their property to their children. And what they have right now, you hand it over to charity.
Okay, so the thing is, I wouldn't sit down and tell people how to use their wealth because I did not make it for them. I did not enter the post for them. When they were hustling and
you were not there.
Sleepless night, I was not there. But I always know that at least the few rich men or wealthy men that I've come across or wealthy women that I've come across, I know that they are naturally philanthropists. They always give. They are the ones in a community that will look at the roads that are not good and they'll call their friends, let's tar the road. I was living in that area sometime and the road wasn't good and they put hands together and they tarred the road for us. My street, it's like an estate because it was done by somebody who decided, well, I have people, my friends, for my friends' sake, they come into this area, they can't go through all the mud, I can do it. They are the ones that will go to schools and donate stuff. So I know that naturally rich people, You see, when we start getting into wealth, let me land. When you start getting into a place of wealth and you want that channel to keep coming in, you have to give. And I know that they give. They may not necessarily answer everybody that comes to them, but they do the most that they can.
The reason why I have an issue with that is because, it's, God bless you, it's self-serving and also
for
it's
other
not,
people.
No, hang in there. It's also not a long-term fixing. Because so you want to be good. You want to say, I've fixed the road. Okay. I have given to this charity. But it should be way beyond that. If we really want this country, Nigeria, for example, to move forward, for example, why don't we then invest that money, for example, in real education, which can then move us into innovation, where we can now have prosperity? Because you are fixing a road will depreciate eventually. It will dilapidate at some point. So you are giving just because I am giving. Let them know that I did the road.
Okay,
but
you're assuming you know the extent of wealth the person has.
Okay, no, let's just...
So they give what they think they can give at the time.
Okay.
Those ones who have more, we see people giving scholarships. We see people, building schools for free. We see them. It happens in our very before here. We see that.
Okay,
so don't always assume that you have more, you should give more.
Okay, let me take this call. Good morning, are you there? And I'll come to you, Mariam.
Hi, good morning, ladies.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to make contribution on the very topic we are on now.
Yes, go ahead.
You remember the other time you spoke about on an issue like this about making money, as the case may be. I tried to analyze 4 reasons why you create wealth.
Yes.
1, multiplication, that is investment. 2, preservation. The other one is transfer. And the other one is philanthropy. I don't know if you want me to explain them. But be that as it may, Warren Buffett gave over half of his wealth to Melinda and the Bill Gates Foundation. As a matter of fact, the wealth we are creating, they are supposed to be a succession plan in your business. Yes. Whether it's a lifestyle business or entrepreneurial business, that's the case with the deal. If you cannot manage your children cannot manage your wealth, you can hand it over to trustees. Trustees manage businesses as well. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not a difficult thing. It only depends on the individual that was able to create the wealth.
Thank you very much. Yes, Mariam, I'm going to say.
I think I understand where Mariah is trying to go with this conversation, which is, yes, we do know that we have philanthropists. We do know that some people give. But she's trying to say, let's make it a culture. So we have some people that do it. So let's make it a culture about...
succession, no?
Yes, like when you give, it's more... It impacts life over generations. So like what she's saying now, I know sometimes there's a rich person in a particular community where he comes home from Lagos or Port Harcourt or America. When he comes, many people will come to visit him. Everybody gets a 10K, everybody gets a 15,000, and you're happy. And also the person feels fulfilled. I put a smile on their faces today. And then onto another 3 years, when you come back, you do the same. And then the example you gave about the road, made the road because I live here. So the conversation is, maybe we should have a change of mindset, which is, our government is having a real problem with education. I would like to invest in schools for this particular community that I've come from. So I'll make sure that we build schools.
For life.
I'll make sure that I'll build universities. I'll make sure. And then you look at the education. Health.
Because many of the Harvard... It's not just one-off. For example, all those Harvards that we all talk about, all the Ivy Leagues, many of them people have been supporting them for decades and many years. So you have people's, your entire lineage knows that, okay, this is our own project where for life that school you've invested in continues to get that investment all through.
Excuse me.
We're not saying this is not a compulsory working.
If my lineage is supporting some Harvard graduate or a Harvard course, doesn't mean I still don't have money that I've left to my family.
Of course, absolutely.
Thank you.
Listen, you can say, so it doesn't mean that the money that I've left, even though I'm supporting Harvard or Yale or whoever.
I should take care of my family now.
It doesn't mean that my family, when I die, will come and even answer my wealth. They will still, it is educating your children, educating people to make them value whatever you have left behind and then move it forward. Move because you see, a lot in Nigeria, for instance, a lot of rich people, they die. Many people I used to hear when I was a kid, Sonny Ade would sing about them. They died, and we don't hear anything that their children are doing because legacies were not built.
Right, fantastic. Let me pause you for a second. Mayomi, are you still there? Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
All right, good morning.
Morning.
All right, good morning to everybody in the house.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Mayomi.
All right, as regards the topic on amassing wealth, actually my own view is that wealth itself is a resource. And however, you can also see it as a reward for hard work. So it's actually nothing bad amassing wealth. However, the way and manner in which wealth is acquired, should also be looked at. From the moral angle, to be acquired in a right way. And the usage of the wealth also should not be for grandstanding or to, elicit ego or super ego, but rather to better the lives of people. Right. You yourself amassing the wealth to use it for your own good use. And it's actually nothing wrong when you acquire wealth for your kids also.
Thank you very much, Mayomi, for that. See, I want us to remember the genesis of this conversation. Yes. Because if you even go ordinary Magodo here, there are houses, mansions, where people have built, they've died. The children are not here, locked up. And people are looking for houses to live in. Young couples are looking for places to build their own lives. But they can't because XYZ's house, mansion has been left and abandoned in certain poised areas. There are rich people in this our Lagos that have built 10-bedroom mansions. If they log out tomorrow, YK, are they going to rent it out? How do they want to do it? They try that they don't live in Nigeria. The point is that we need to begin to rethink how we are living legacies. Because if ordinary Ekiti, that I go with my husband's family, when we go there, you see beautiful houses on that middle road, locked up, grass, plants, weed everywhere.
So Mariah, wait.
So that's the conversation.
The conversation should be more about, the conversation should be more about having a successor or a success.
They don't want, they're not interested.
No, we don't know. You see, everything was started as culture. We live for family, we do it this way. Now, things are changing. Right. People are becoming more enlightened. Yes. So it's an information that we need to start giving out there. Start making plans for the future. That's the conversation we're having. But at the same time, we cannot tell people how to use the money that they have worked for. I think it's wrong.
So for me, I don't think this conversation is about telling people how to use their money. It's a conversation really about, we are growing, we're evolving. Things are changing. Yes. Let's look at how we use our wealth differently. Exactly. I like this particular tweet, and I think he understands where it sort of mirrors what I'm trying to say. Talk It Tech says, until we see wealth as something that reflects across an entire society, as opposed to within one man's compound, children will choose to stay abroad because they perceive a better society over there. So now you have a society where people also invest out of their wealth. They invest in their children as well as the society that they come from.
God
and
bless
so
you.
Because of that, people are drawn to that society. So we're asking for us here as well. Do that
so that people can be drawn.
So that even your children that you're hoping to not run away will now be part of that society.
On that note, let's go on a break. God bless you, Maria. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So I think Mariam articulated exactly what we're trying to say, but let's take a few more tweets so that we can get our viewers involved. Yes,
Toby Martin says, as a parent, if you know your children are made already and you're wealthy, call them and discuss your plans on the way forward about your wealth to avoid future problems, because you never can tell.
Yes. Dolani Robert says, wealthy people should lay a good platform for their children and donate the remainder of their wealth to charity organizations who will use it with equity.
Oluwaseyi Dada says, generational wealth is rare to come by in Africa. Despite the heritage system, you still have some children who are squanderers and fail to pass on the wealth. FYI, children now exhume parents' corpses to sell houses. I've witnessed this so many times.
I wanted to say something. You see, when we acquire wealth, especially when you acquire it illegitimately, you acquire it without a succession plan.
Okay.
You just have it to leave to my children. Greed has a major, you know, because when you're talking about the people abroad, there are people who they are wealthy.
They worked for it.
Beyond, JP Morgan, these are banks, institutions. They become institutions. It is that wealth that they use to make the society.
Are you saying we don't have that in Nigeria?
Let me finish.
Are you saying we don't have
How old is
that?
Nigeria?
No, wait, okay, I want to puncture what you're saying for a second, because you have built a brand called Felabration. Wouldn't you want Felabration to live after you? So the point I'm trying to make is that you have children, your brothers and sisters have children.
Yeah.
The conversation is that if all these your children go abroad, for example, have families there and live there, Felabration dies.
After you go.
If you have a plan where one of them takes it over now or begins to run it, at some point, we know that Felabration has a new generation. Yeah. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that you are building this entire empire, not thinking of the succession plan.
That's a lie, because you don't know.
I know. I'm using it as an example of this kind of, this is an example.
Look, I will give you an example.
Right.
The shrine, for instance, cannot be sold by any of our children.
Okay.
Because what we have built is something that we have built for Nigeria.
Okay.
It's not about, when my mother dies or my father dies, I'm going to inherit shrine. No. Yeah. So you can do it, maybe you turn it into a church. No.
Of all things.
A legacy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a legacy.
Okay.
So now, let me go to a lot of the churches, yes, when the main pastor dies, they don't continue.
Yeah, that's
they
another
die.
thing.
It is succession. It's because you don't have a succession plan. You don't. What we need in Nigeria is succession plan. You know, because look, come on. We don't know maintenance.
Let me take this call.
Come on, maintenance. Yeah. I'm maintaining my phone. I can't maintain it.
So Tom has been holding for a while. Tom, are you still there?
I'm still there.
Please, you're live. Go ahead, please.
You see, this topic you are discussing, I wish I had much more time to discuss with you. The thing is that once you train your children to where they are comfortable, my dear sister, and you put in something for their future, then you give the rest to humanity. You don't waste your time leaving money and leaving properties for children who may not even care for whatever you have left. Once you attain the level you want of comfort for yourself, so you die, make your children comfortable, give them one or two things that they can hold on to when you are gone. You give the rest to humanity. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah. My daughter knows that I'm not leaving any money for her. She knows. I've told her, because I have to.
You don't have
listen,
money.
I have to. Any money I have, my darling, I will spend it.
Yeah. Okay, so
it's because I didn't work for her. I have given her own.
Yes, her own thing.
Go and do your own.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we kept on saying charity. Let me tell you, my friend's daughter went to go and work in South Africa for a charity firm, a charity clinic. When she came back to England, she said to her mother that I'm never going to donate to charity again. Why?
Yeah, you need to
they were all carrying designer bags.
Yeah, that's another thing now.
Driving Ferraris.
You all had earned money.
So you will give the charity doesn't even get to where you want it to.
Let me answer that. Yes, quickly, please. Just
set up industries.
Yeah. So, two things. Firstly, I think this brings the question where people will say, oh, we heard Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, all those people say they are not leaving their wealth to their children, and here Nigerians here in our poverty, hey, God forbid, wicked people, do you understand? And I think the mentality is, I have set them up in such a way that they are independent, and whatever they do with the resources I've given to them, that's their life. But the wealth that I have acquired, I'm going to put into different things. Secondly, the thing you talk about charity organizations, I think what a few people, and one I just read today, what they're doing is that they decide to spend this money while they're still alive. Right. So you don't create a foundation and say, okay, when I pass on, this charity takes over. Like, while I'm alive, I'm giving $350 million to this cause. While I'm alive, I'm doing this. So, and while I'm alive, I'm also able to oversee what is happening. So that's another way. But thinking is really, we need to start thinking beyond just our regular, traditional way of always doing
Moving on to, let me take this call from Olowokere and I come to BC. Olowokere, good morning.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, everyone in the house.
Morning. Morning.
This is a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Quick one. I have two things to discuss here. I'm sorry. I quickly get to Madam YK, buttress on what she said earlier, why she complained about the bill they brought to her during the COVID-19 and all the stuff.
Okay.
Please, I would like you to bring a program that will involve all the agencies involved. Because I could remember they closed down in our area there. They have to brought the bill, the normal bill up. All the month they locked the month down. They didn't exclude any of the months. So I went there and I completed them. This morning I'm paying. You know that you didn't come to this place to come and carry any luggage or anything during this period. So why are you collecting money for it? They asked me to write letter to them. Please, when are we going to get system correct in this country? I mean, they should be able to get into their system.
Yeah.
When I mean, government.
Very correct. System failure. We'll probably do a show on this because obviously YK has complained, and we got a number of tweets on this also. That it's quite prevalent amongst various local government agencies. So we'll definitely look into it further. BC, you're going to continue.
Yeah, so I agree with the fact that we should, try as much as possible to, as you make wealth, think of the society. So for me, it's more like a collective. We're all in this together. We're all trying to make everything work out. But at the same time, I also want to believe that it's always very good that you give your children a platform. Now, some people would say, okay, every rich man, once you make money, make sure you share it, make sure you spend it, make sure you do this. But we also need to understand the kind of society that we have in. So you're not going to be sharing everything without leaving something for your children. So like give them a stepping stone. Because naturally, children should be greater than you are. So when you have a stepping stone as you start in life, the struggles of your father, you will not start all over from that struggle anymore. So once we get that sorted, the remaining thing, you can do whatever you want to do with it. After all, I still believe it's your money.
The question will now be, what do you think is important to set up your child? Is it the extra the houses that you have locked up that will set up your child?
God bless you. God bless you. That's the good question. So if you have money to give your child, you have house in France, you have house in Italy, you have house in America, you have house in Canada. Who is going to sleep in this house?
So we all operate according to our level. So what you call your stepping stone is another person's is not another person's stepping stone. That's chicken change. Exactly. So at your level, you decide what a stepping stone is for you. So I remember a friend of mine who came into Lagos, and he had to start life from the scratch. His parents had nothing in Lagos and everything. He had to squat and struggled until today. He's still in that struggle compared to his other friend who finished school. They all came to Lagos together. That one already, the father already had a house where he started his life with. So he gave him a soft pedal, and he was able to stabilize faster than the other person. So your stepping stone varies. It could be that I've raised the children to travel. Hold on, no. I raised the children to travel abroad and all of that. I will not take that away because I don't want that.
No.
I will give them at that level.
We're going to be closing this conversation soon.
Yes, I will give them at that level.
The time that your friend came back to Nigeria, my mother is in Nigeria now. She didn't go and live abroad. So her father's wealth that she's still getting today is because she's here. But your father in Florida, for example,
she will still get it.
She will go there and sell it.
She will still get it.
Even if she gets it working, she's not on ground to ensure she's getting what the value is.
Even in support of you, she's getting it because her father did the right thing. He got an executive.
Many of us don't.
Yes, and as many of us do not.
So many of us just die, and we just have the houses locked up. That's the problem. So if you're a rich man now, and you build multiple houses, is that how you sell the house, keep the money for your children in the bank where they can use it?
Trust fund.
You have a trust fund for them, or you rent out the house so the money continues to have, they'll continue to collect rent for a long time. But you don't just build houses for nothing.
And ignore it.
Let me take this last call. Kayode, thanks for calling from the UK. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Murayo, this your Ekiti trip has brought us here this morning. Now, this topic, we can't trash it at one go. We have to revisit. It's more than what we think, and we can't just take it from the surface. Now, yes, amassing wealth to what end? For me, it's two topics. Amassing wealth, we can talk about what to do with wealth. To what end? I want to quickly focus on that in 10 seconds. It's what do we do now? What is our orientation now? What is our understanding? You can see on that table there, even Auntie Yenny there, which is not far from you guys in generation. She's on the defense. our perception, our understanding is different from you guys. Okay? Now, wealth is personal to every individual. To Sultan of Brunei, their own wealth is children to come and be. In the south, to our obas down in the southwest, their wealth is different. Their success behind wealth is different. Perception is different. Understanding is different. Auntie Yeni just said that this is what we wanted to do with the shrine. I don't know whether our daughter will come up in 20 years' time to come and continue the legacy. It's possible that our orientation will have changed by then, and she may not have interest in that. Shrine, yeah. But what we want to do forward is what I want to include myself in this generation. What are we going to do? It will go beyond of where that should we continue this gra-gra?
I don't understand. I didn't get that.
Are you still there?
So should we continue this gra-gra? You know, where he's going, let me tell you something. When Koro came to town, I thought of my life. Because I looked at my wardrobe. I had all these clothes, but nowhere to go. And I thought, wow. Really, what is this life?
Vanity upon vanity.
Where to Instagram?
What is this? Which Instagram? Are you going to where is Instagram and be looking at yourself in the mirror and take a picture?
Now, yeah.
That is vanity upon vanity.
Everything is YK. Everything.
So I said, Koro gave me a whole different perspective to life. Eh? So you don't be buying clothes, you want to wear it, you want to look nice, you want to go to party. Go to party now. Go to party and catch Koro and die. Don't think. So life, I think, treasure life as you see it. And, you know, even though you must plan for the future, keep that vanity at bay. Let it be, you know, because...
May I quickly say something? You see vanity because you're talking from a place of comfortability. You are comfortable. If you see that man who has been drinking Gary, will not see chicken and call it vanity. So Solomon was able to say,
I'm not talking about
vanity.
food, though.
No,
I'm not talking because the most important thing during the Koro was
food.
Eating.
I know.
Okay, I have to wrap up on it, but I'd like to wrap up with this. This message. Do you have a tweet? I have a message I wanted to read, but go ahead, Mariam. Let me let you do it.
Okay, so Steve Agada says some of these rich parents don't key in their offsprings into the vision, hence the lack of interest from children at later time in life than when it's actually too late. And another person here says your successor of your business might not be your children because you all might have diverse dreams. So I think that's the conversation that's going on. It does not have to end up with your children running it per se. Right. If someone else can run it and they just get...
It's just like celebration. I'm looking for good people because I know Madi that is into music will be more into his music than running celebration. So someone that will run celebration may not be a family member.
Exactly. So we need to just start thinking that way. It doesn't have to be my child. But let me end with this. This gentleman sent this and he said, we don't have a culture of sustainability. It is simply an act of ignorance. Most of these buildings become out of taste and fashion like cars within a few years. And most importantly, the children have their own choice. A friend who resides in the UK with his family for over 20 years built a house at Ikorodu purposely for the children. However, the children told him they were not interested in going home. So right now he's trying to sell there. So you work for 30 years to build a fantastic house for your family, and your children are not interested at all. So after all that hard work,
so Mariah, when you sell that house, you're going to get more value than what you used to build it. It's also investment and also business.
There is one house in Ikoyi.
That White House, hey, all of us we're talking about this house.
You see, the man is old. He cannot use more than one room and the toilet. He can't climb the stairs.
But he built it.
When you build a house that has step, you have forgotten that when you're getting old, you can't climb steps.
How will he rent that house? Who wants to buy it?
They will buy it.
Do you know how that big house? Do you know the house we're talking about?
When they are ready to sell
do you know the house we're talking about?
Buyers will come. Don't worry.
Buyers will come for what?
It's not buyers. It's don't build more than you can work. I don't need more than a room, a kitchen, toilet, bathroom. Because if I build step, I can't climb it when I'm 70
or 80. If you're 70 YK, you don't need more than a bungalow. Just get a nice small bungalow, 2-bedroom.
You people are not teaching people how to do their life.
That big mansion in that Ikoyi that you're talking about, we are waiting, God Almighty, that how are we going to divide it up for all Nigeria? That man is going to be at least 100 years because he's very healthy. That man will be 100 years old, I know.
I say he can't climb the stairs of that house. Maybe he has lift inside.
I'm sure he has lift in the house. But it's a beautiful house. Let me not say.
No names.
In fact, this discussion, we are in trouble.
We're in trouble, in fact. He's my daddy's friend, please, he's my friend, he's my uncle.
But forgive us,
I like his
forgive us. Don't have to talk about that house.
I like his house.
Okay. Do you know many White Houses in Ikoyi? There are plenty White Houses in Ikoyi. Please, not that house you're talking about. It's another one.
Which one?
Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Hey.